This is VisibleBody, and the way you're going to navigate this site, everything is contained in the Assignments tab, even though there are not actually any assignments in here. You can check out the Getting Started page if you'd like to, but the Muscular System Anatomy ID is how you're going to access that three-dimensional tool. So you're going to just scroll down and click, and it's going to take a minute, but it's going to open up this muscly guy. And so this muscly guy, you can turn him around, basically just click and drag to rotate him. You can rotate him any way you would like. And then you can also zoom in on different parts, zoom out, click on muscles. It will tell you what muscle it is over here. If you want more details, you can get a definition. It includes an origin, insertion. We do not talk about innervations in this class, and action. Keep in mind that we have simplified the origin, insertion, and action on our lab materials, and therefore you may see way more information here than we have in our lab, and that's to make it a little bit easier for you. What you need to know is in our lab materials, but this is a great tool so that you can get a better idea of what you're looking at. So you can actually take off the muscle, put on the muscle. You can view a video of the actions of the muscle. So here's the pectoralis major. It is flexing the arm. Notice that it is red when it's doing its action, and then when it stops doing its action, it fades out. So even though you do see flexion and extension, the only motion the pectoralis major does is the flexion portion, and you can tell that by the fact that it dims when the arm extends. You can view some of its other actions here. That would be internal or medial rotation, and notice that it dims when the arm is externally or laterally rotating. So kind of some cool content there. Key feature, in order to get back to where you were, the back button is this little loopy arrow up here. Took me a minute to figure that out, so definitely if it's taking you a minute to get back to your entire muscly guy, that little back arrow or forward arrow, those are really helpful. So an example of what this program can do to help you, you can search for a muscle in this box. So if you're having trouble finding a muscle, you can do that. And you can do things like the trapezius is covering up the supraspinatus muscle, which is underneath the trapezius right here. If we hide the trapezius, then we can find the supraspinatus muscle. We can also find the rhomboid major muscle. So sometimes being able to kind of strip off those different muscles and look at the other muscles is pretty helpful. And you again can find out a little bit more about the muscle. You can highlight the origins and insertions with that little box on a stick. So you can see that the supraspinatus muscle, as we rotate here, attaches to the greater tubercle of the humerus. That's its insertion. And then it originates in the supraspinous fossa. You can kind of check that out. And it makes it a little easier to see the origins and insertions of the muscle. And then you can, of course, see the action, the video of arm abduction. So the deltoid and supraspinatus work together to do that motion. Hopefully this is a helpful tool. Go in, explore it, check it out, and it's free to you guys, so hopefully it helps.